Let's go to the DA leader in the Western Cape, MEC in the provincial government as well, Bonginkosi Madikizela. MEC, good afternoon to you. You're calling for more police, more efforts to try and stop land invasions in the Western Cape. What do you want police to do?
Good afternoon, Stephen. Look, I'm asking the SAPS members to really assist the Western Cape to deal with the problems of land invasion in the province. We have seen these orchestrated land invasions for a couple of months now, and it's very clear that these land invasions are politically motivated. But what is even more worrying for me, Stephen, is that they are accompanied by violence, which is really hurting the poor people and mostly vandalizing the infrastructure in poor areas. So surely that cannot be accepted.
You say this is orchestrated. Who's orchestrating it? Well,
these are people who are known. I mean, people like Loyiso Nkohlas have been prominent in these invasions. We see the same strategy that we saw towards the last elections, and every time when we are closer to elections, we see these land invasions escalating. And we also saw some of the EFF leaders working together with these, hooligans. And it's very disturbing because when leaders who are elected and some in parliament encourages land invasion, it clearly shows that they don't understand what it means to take the oath of office. And that's one of the things that we'll be pursuing as a DA to bring those people to book, because people cannot act with impunity and break the law in the name of service delivery. Certainly that cannot be accepted.
All right, just to understand your view of the legal process, is it correct that it is illegal to erect a shack on a piece of land during the lockdown?
That's exactly the point, Stephen, and that is why we've been calling for SAPS to act, because this is violation of the regulation under the Disaster Management Act. It is completely illegal for anyone to erect the shacks during the lockdown. A lot of noise was made when the city of Cape Town was removing people who were erecting shacks. And Steve, the narrative, from the media, if I can just say, sort of gave these people, emboldened them to continue with these land invasions. Because the narrative was very disturbing from the media. The city of Cape Town was portrayed as this monster when they were trying to prevent land invasion. What we are seeing now is that that narrative has now emboldened these people to do this thing across the province. And SPS members who should be leading, together, by the way, with South African Defence Force, National Defence Force, who should be leading the enforcement of the regulations, they are nowhere to be seen. I mean, this is really disturbing.
Okay, will more police really help? I mean, there's a huge dynamic here. It's not just in Cape Town, it is in other places. People move to urban areas to try and find a job. To get that job, they have to live close to the city, so they build a shack. I mean, when you're confronted with that dynamic, and migration is one of the biggest dynamics in our society, do you think more police will really help?
Stephen, we all know, but that doesn't give people a right to break the law. Nowhere in the country people are allowed to just take land, willy-nilly with no consequences. Here's the thing, Stephen. We provide intelligence to this SAPS. I mean, it's not as if these people are not known. We get the intelligence on the ground, Stephen, and we are told these people are now, converging, and they will be invading land. This particular, SAPS, and cops, they do nothing to prevent that land invasion. And surely, this clearly, as I said, is orchestrated. We heard before the call, to render the Western Cape ungovernable. And when these things are happening without any action from the police, you wonder whether they are not getting instruction from the top not to act.